It's good to see you, folks. I'm John Zidar. I am the host of On Top and Hot. Today, it's Tuesday, January 7th. Now, you know what I normally like to do on this show? I like to talk to you about hot penny stocks. I'm a day trader. I primarily trade stocks under $5. And I'm always looking for stocks that have potential to make us money, so I have something to share with you. Well, on Tuesdays, I bring you over here to my Pennybois Discord group. My Discord group is here to help people learn how to trade, whatever it is you trade. Cryptos, stocks, options, whether you're an aggressive trader or a passive trader, we do it all over here. And we want you to know what we do, so we have a free members page where you can come try before you buy. I mean, we got lots of free information, but we got a lot of paid for too. And this is the best way to show you what we do. So I'm over here every single day from bell to bell, trading with my team members, trading with the general public. Could be you. Sure, it could. I got a link down below. It says this is the Pennybois link. Click that. It'll take you to Discord. If you haven't got an account, just give them an email, choose a username and password. You got an account. They will automatically direct you to us. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll find a menu, a lot shorter than mine, and you find the free members page in there, wherever it is, and you click that, and it'll bring you to this page right there. Bink, and it'll bring you to the free members page where we are at 24/7. I mean, we're there trading between bells to bell, but we're also there after the bell. There's lots of people talking about stocks, asking questions, team members answering them, but they also like to talk about cars and food and other things like that as well. So through the day, you're going to find me primarily in there getting hot charts. We're looking for stocks that are running, folks. We're looking for stocks that have already taken off. And we're not worried about getting the cheapest price, and we're not worried about getting the most out of every stock. What we want is a probable move. We want to take the meat out of the middle. We missed the beginning. We don't care about the end. We're just going to grab what happens in the middle, which is very probable. And we do this over and over again through the day. We like to scalp. We get into a stock and we play it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and we're out. We took our gains and we move on to the next stock. Well, we play a lot of different stocks, folks, and I can't go through everything we cover, but I do have a few I want to share with you. So what I want to do is look at a couple charts, and then I want to focus in on one stock particular so that we don't waste our time. You may have heard about this stock today because over the last 2 days, she ran about 600%, and then she gave it all away today with good cause, and I'm going to share that with you. So let's jump on over to my charting platform, which is, that's right, Thinkorswim. So we are over here at my free trading platform, Thinkorswim. We were looking at WIMI. Just at the day's end, you can see she was running hot. She took off. We had Mark Ryan. He found this and actually got a play out of this. In the last couple minutes of the day, hit another one and took away some more gains. So IMRX, I do believe, is the first stock I want to take a look at here. And all we need to do is look at what's been going on here in recent times. We don't have to go over it through the history. All right, so what you see here are a lot of lines. Those are my supports and resistances. This is how we trade. We use these supports and resistances as speed bumps. Think of driving. If you approach a speed bump, what's the first thing you do? You slow down. Well, that's what the price likes to do when it approaches these supports and resistances, which are drawn at places where it changed direction, where it bounced before. So we know it likes to bounce on these points. So we draw these lines up and we get in over top of a support and get out underneath the next one. And if it's a strong running stock like this, you don't sell everything at the first target. You would sell maybe half and sell some at the next target and at the next target. But here's what I want to share with you. This was a very hot stock pre-market. And we did see this early in the morning. We seen it running. We had set up some lines on it. Now, there are no halts pre-market or aftermarket. So if a stock runs super fast one way or the other, there's nothing to stop it. So you can get some extreme movements pre-market and aftermarket. This jumped from $2.35 up to $5.65, almost 100%. Now, what I want to point out here is that if you get into a stock pre-market or aftermarket, get out the same period, If you get into this stock as she's running, don't think you're going to carry this through the bell and take gains. 9 out of 10 times, folks, I may be exaggerating by 1. 8 out of 10 times, if a stock is running pre-market, when the bell goes, it falls. And there's a common sense reason for that. There are a lot of people that pay no mind to pre-market after market. It's a mystery to them. They just come to the game when the bell goes off. And if the stock is running real hot and the bell goes off, what does everybody see who just got here? Profits sitting on the table. What's the first thing you're going to do? They are rushing to sell. They want to get their gains. So you get a dip as soon as you hit the bell in most cases. And they are going to sell off until they're done. It's not going to go on forever. It's going to find a floor. It's going to then go sideways. After it stops falling, it goes sideways. Maybe it bounces immediately. That's where you get in. We never buy anything on a red bar because red means it's falling. You buy on a red bar, it could just keep falling. So we wait for 2 or 3 green bars to prove it's changed its direction over top of a support. That's when we like to buy in. The other thing is, when you have a strong run, sell. Don't be looking for the top. If you get a strong run and say you're up 50%, you have no clue when it's going to stop running and turn around. And it could happen very, very quickly. Now, we're looking at a 15-minute chart. Let's come down to a 1 minute. This is what it looked like on the 1 minute chart. We had a break right here. This was all 4 in the morning run. Well, I can't trade till 7 in the morning. And there's a lot of brokers that don't let you trade till 7 in the morning. But some allow 4 in the morning. Well, right here is 7 in the morning. So she had jumped from 229 up to 321, held there, and then at 7 in the morning, she started to rip, and that's when she went from 321 up to 562. And in these rips, you should be selling something. After she comes up, now immediately when you see a stock running, you should draw lines, folks, so you know your targets. When you hit these targets, sell something. I don't care how much you sell. 10, 20 shares, 10%, 20%, 50%. Sell something. Put some money in your pocket before she changes her mind and comes back down. Because if you haven't sold anything, you're going to be holding everything when she comes back down. So just get used to selling as she's climbing. The next stock I want to share with you was a very hot stock today. She halted many times. This is SPY. No. Not that SPY. Not SPY. This is SPI. SPY is over $600. This thing is under $1, which is a problem for it because it is on the major exchange and it needs to get up over $1 or else it could be thrown down to the OTC or they could have to do a reverse stock split. So this is SPY. We're looking at the 1 minute chart. This blue line there tells you when we saw it. It was 11:56 in the morning. The price we found her at was 83 cents. Now right here, she had already had one halt. As you can see, she was down here at 42 cents, minding her own business, slowly growing, and then she took off ripping. Went so fast, they halted the stock. Now, you never know how long a halt's going to last. It can be 3 minutes. It can be 13 minutes. You never know. Once they unhalted, it comes back on the market. If it gets too hot again, if it starts having too much volume, if the price is moving too fast, they will halt it again. This stock was halted many times. I'm going to show that to you here in a minute. Well, I caught it on the second halt. Right here, this blue line right there was the second halt. She was at 83 cents. She took off, folks. Every time she halted, she bounced. She would be froze. We would look at the chart, and then we would put in our orders while it was halted. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is SPI at that point and time. As you can see, it is 83 cents. She is in a halt right now. But you can't see this unless you take a picture. So I got a picture of it. And I posted this on Pennybois because there is information we can glean from this. When a stock is in a halt, a lot of brokers will allow you to put in an order. So you can put in a buy order. And what I like to do is put in a trailing stop loss. A trailing stop loss allows me not to have to pick a target to sell at. trailing stop loss is like a stop loss. If I say I just want to go down 10 cents, that's as much as I want to lose is 10 cents a share, it will follow me. As soon as the price starts to rise, that 10-cent gap follows me like a trailer behind my vehicle. Doesn't go any further. And as soon as I start to fall, the trailing stop loss locks. And I can fall 5 cents and it won't move. And I turn around and start to climb, it starts to follow me again. So I like to use a trailing stop loss because you never know how far a halted stock can jump when she comes out of halt. But what we want to know before we put in a trade, we're not gambling here. We're going to read the chart. Is there heat in that chart? Well, the first thing I look at are the lines on the chart. Everyone asks me, how do you know when to get into a chart? Well, first off, you want to make sure it's hot. A hot chart has everything pushing towards the sun. All the lines are going up on the chart and your oscillators. Well, as you can see here on our chart, all of our MAs are pushing up very hard, every single one. Our oscillators, my PPO, my ADX, my MACD, my RSI. I don't know what tools you use, but chances are when they're pointed up, it's good. When you see all the lines on your chart pointed up, you've got a hot chart. So we know this chart is hot. I also look over here, I see a sea of green. We don't have any red in there. That always looks good. The last thing I like to look at are the numbers down here. This is my level 2. Level 2 is free with Thinkorswim. Some places make you pay for it. Level 2 is your order book. This is where your orders are queuing up. People who want to buy the stock and people who want to sell it but haven't done it yet. We get to see them getting in line. Well, this side are the people who want to sell. These are the people that want to buy. But when they halt a stock, they shuffle the two columns together. I don't know why. They confuse them. You can't really read what's going on. But I've been looking at them long enough that I've gleaned a little bit of insight. I look at the two top numbers in this column, which is 124 and 95. And I look at the two bottom numbers in this column. They both say $1.06. Now we are at 83 cents. Every single one of these numbers is higher than that. So in my mind, we are going to jump to one of these numbers. You like that? So we're looking at a bounce from 83 cents up to 95 cents or $1.06 or $1.24. Now let's go back to that chart. So this is where she was halted at 83 cents. We'll see. It was like every couple of minutes she was halted. But we had a jump here up to $1.18. Then we had another jump up to $1.38. Another jump to $1.60. Finally hitting a high of $1.74 before she came all the way back down, coming through her 200. And even now after market, she is still falling. So again, we are looking at stocks that are running. Maybe they're so hot they get halted. That's okay. Read the chart. See if everything is pointed up. If it is, you're going to put in your buy order. You're going to get a price. Now, if we found this halted at 83 cents, I'm going to put in my order at least 10 cents higher. 93 cents, at least. And here's the reason for that. When she comes out of a halt, she can catapult. She can jump very fast, and she can just bullet right past you. No orders are bought or sold going that fast and it just misses you. Now you're playing chase the monkey. No, we don't do that. I would rather get way up ahead, say even $1.03. Okay? So I put in $1.03 and you think, oh my God, that's too high. As soon as it comes out of halt, it hits 89 cents. Well, 93 would have caught it, but you know what? I get the 89 cents. You get the best price. So we don't have to worry about being too high. What we're worried about is being missed. We don't want to miss the shoot up. And if it doesn't shoot that high and goes back, whew, no problem, right? That's why we get ahead of the price. And again, we're going to use a trailing stop loss. So when she takes off, I don't have to worry about when do I sell? When do I sell? I just let it ride up. When it falls back finally, my 10 cents or whatever it is I chose, that's when it's going to sell automatically. And this one went crazy. Let me show you how many halts this had. This is a page I use over here at the NewYorkStockExchange.com. Now, they don't give you any real assistance to let you know it's happening. They just tell you it's happened. What I mean is there's no indicators. There's no ding. Oh, I would love a ding. God, I would love a ding. These halts only last so many minutes and then they're back on the market. So I've got to come over here, manually see if anything has been halted anytime recently, look to see when it was halted, see what time it is. Oh my God, it's already been 4 minutes. Urgh! And now I'm rushing to get all my information and maybe get an order set. Now look here, folks. This is, it just barely fits on the page. This is SPI. We caught it at 11:56. It was the second halt. Now, they don't tell you the prices here. That would be nice if they did. But it was like 5 minutes later, she was halted again. 7 minutes, another halt. Another 10 minutes, then 8 minutes. I mean, come on. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 halts. And she was climbing for most of them. She was climbing for most of them until she started falling. And then the halts quit at that point. But you can have halts falling too. But she was being halted as she climbed. So had you gotten in back here at the 11:56 time of 83 cents, you came in at 93 cents or $1.03 and you got in, you'd have been clutching because every few minutes it would have been halted. And you can't sell while it's halted. And you don't know if it's going to go up or down. All you can do is look at the chart and read it and hopefully read it properly. So you would have went through quite a few halts here to make your money, but you would have made some good money. Now our Pennybois group, we do have a halt page. Over here we have a page called Trade Signals. I get lots of signals over here and they actually tell you when something is halted. It just comes up here. I was hoping to see one here. It just says halted. That's it. So we do have this information available here, but again, there's no sound. I've got to keep coming back and looking to get that information. All right. I've got one more stock here I want to share with you. Matter of fact, why don't we start by, all right, we're going to look at the chart first. Then we're going to go look at the stock. We're going to look at XTIA. XTIA, this is XTI Aerospace. A while ago, XTI was involved with a merger. That's how they came on the market. They merged with another company. And while they were doing that merger, they had a second merger from one of their subsidiaries with Damon Motors. Damon Motors is an electric motorcycle company. Already got products out there, big motorcycles, not these little guys. This is a big electric motorcycle. Already on the market. Damon Motors is now on the NASDAQ. Anybody that had bought into XTIA got free shares in Damon Motors. Hello! I got some of those. So, XTI Aerospace has a tri-propeller plane. It is a hovercraft plane. It rises like a helicopter and then it goes forward like 350 miles per hour and it can go like 700 miles for its distance. We saw this stock yesterday. I'm going to take this back to 5 days, 5 minutes. We saw this stock yesterday back here. We saw it early and she started to run and we were making plays on it. Now, it wasn't until the late part of the afternoon she started making some good, strong pushes, going from a nickel up to 7 cents. It was actually 8 cents. So we had over 50% gains there just before the bell. After the bell, she started to run. And that's when I got in. I got in right here after the bell yesterday at just about 8 cents. And I actually played this the whole aftermarket. As you can see, she came down and bounced, but I believed that she was going to continue running. So I ran this all the way up and I sold somewhere up here at about 14 cents. It actually hit like 16 cents. I sold it around 14 cents, making about 50% gains. So I was happy with this. Now, I did consider hanging on to it, but it's not a habit of mine. And the truth of the matter is, I was aware of some information about XTIA, and I had told everybody at Pennybois about it. Because when we're over there trading at Pennybois, scalping, we don't know why a stock is running. We don't have any clue if it's good news, bad news, a filing, a merger. We don't know. We don't care. Honestly, we are just looking at the technicals on the chart. We have seen lots of companies that have good news and fall. I know lots of companies that have bad news and run. And that's what this was doing, a dark catalyst. When she started to run earlier in the day, I went and looked at the news and I went and looked at the filings. I didn't see any news, but I seen a filing. Well, the filing was a shareholder meeting, and they had voted on a reverse stock split, which they approved. They voted on multiple public offerings, which they approved, and they voted to increase the authorized share count, which they disapproved. So we had a reverse stock split of anywhere from 1 to 2 to 1 to 250, and they were going to do public offerings, which means shareholder value was going to be going down the toilet. And still, it was running. Well, I knew that after market. That's why I didn't hang on to it, because I knew there was a lot of shareholder dilution coming, so I said no. Well, she took a dip first thing in the morning, but then she took a rip. She jumped here from about the same point I got out, 14 cents, and went all the way up here to 24 cents. That's like an 80% run. She came back down, and then here at the bell, she fell, giving it all back up. Folks, that is a 600% run from about 4 cents up to 25 cents. That is 600%, and she virtually has given it all back. You know why? I'll show you why. Over here, I am at otcmarkets.com website looking at XTIA that finished at 11.5 cents. Finished today about 29, let's call it 30% up. She's a penny stock on the NASDAQ, and she needs to get that price up over $1. Well, she's had news here. She had an appointment with the FDA. They are looking over the plane, and the FDA is making regulations for this sort of aircraft. So all of that was good for the company. That was news that came out on the 10th of last month. But they had news that came out today. They told us they are implementing their 1 and 250 reverse stock split. They voted on it. They approved it. They just told us they're going to do it. So for every 250 shares you own, you're going to get 1 share. The price is going to go up 250 times. So if the price right now is 11 cents, oh boy, 10 would take it to $1, right? 100 would take it to $10, right? 200 would take it to $200. We're looking at close to $28 as far as I can figure here. This is going to be a $28 stock, $26 stock once this reverse stock split happens. But you're going to have very few shares. Now, here's the great thing about it. When you take a company that's got a product that looks like, let me see here, looks like this. This will move for us. When you take a product like this that can be used right now, you know, we are ready to start implementing this. The company is a high-tech company. It should not be a penny stock. You're not going to see people who have lots of money wanting to invest in this company if it's 11 cents. But you kick the price up to $25, they look at the company and go, ooh, high-tech. Oh, I like this. All of a sudden, it's at $32, $40. And you're going, what? Why didn't it go up when it was down here on the OTC? That's because it's a whole different class of investors up there on the major exchange. Now, we're not going to have to worry about anything after this reverse stock split. I mean, the price could fall, but it is all going to be done and said. Now, they said they're going to have some public offerings, which means that the shares are going to be diluted some more. So let's see what we've got going on here. Our relative volume today, wow. Holy cow, on the NASDAQ, folks. She was doing 117 million shares a day, every day for the last 30 days. Today, she blew that out of the water with 2.4 billion shares. Whew. Wow, folks, that's a ton of shares on the major exchange. That is a lot of activity, but most of that was selling. Share structure for the company at this point in time is 151 million shares, and they're doing a 250 reverse stock split. I think it's going to be less than 1 million shares. somebody do the math on that, folks. You cannot go any lower than 1.5 million shares as your float on the major exchange. And the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange just in the last 2 months passed a rule, you would have thought this was already a rule, that you can't break another rule to get compliance. So if you were under $1 and you wanted to get that price up over $1 and you did a reverse stock split, you've got to have at least 1.5 million shares left in the float, or you can't do your reverse stock split. We're not going to let you break a rule to fix something. That's not allowed. So maybe I haven't got it right here. All right, I'm going to do it real quick here, folks. You're here with me. I'm going to bring up my calculator. I doubt you can see this, but I'm going to grab 151 million, and I am dividing that by 250. That gives, what? That's why they got to do public offerings. That makes sense. Folks, this is crazy. This is a wild card. You get in now, you're going to lose a lot of shares, but you can buy it cheap now, and you can have a seat for when it takes off, if it takes off. But I don't know that it's going to. What else can we learn here? Market cap is going to change. That is going to drop. The less shares you have, the less market cap you have. Well, I don't know. The market cap is figured out by all of your shares multiplied times the price. Well, if we've got 60,000 shares, but the price is $25, what's 60,000 times 25? Someone else do that this time. That's what your market cap is going to be. Financials. Is this company making money? They are making money. And I got to tell you, I'm surprised about that. I thought they only had a prototype of this, and maybe they do, but I was not expecting to see any revenues, especially in the black. The company 4 years ago had $9.2 million. We know it's millions because they tell us we got to add 3 zeros to any of these numbers. Kicked it up to 16 million, dropped down to 6 million, and now down to 4.5. But they did bring home 3.1 million in profit last year. Quarterlies, they are bringing in revenues. They are bringing home profit, but it has been falling. It's kind of bouncing around, but it's not a bag. We have got something going on here. Balance sheet for the company. We've got $511,000 in the bank, about $30 million in assets, $23 million in liabilities. So we've got positive stockholder equity too. So we've got about $7 million in stockholder equity. We do have revenues. We do have profit. We're going to have a super low float here in a while and a stock that is going to be in front of people who have money at about $25. Disclosures. I do believe I was already here. This is where I got our shareholder meeting. I got all of that information right there. This 8K, this looks like the shareholder meeting as well. Yeah, they had to fix something in it. That's what the A means at the end. 8KA means this 8K was amended. So something is different between the two of them. And they normally don't tell you what they fixed. It's just been fixed. And that's it. That's what we've got going on here. Oh, something else I wanted to point out while we were here. This company did the merger with Inpixion. But Inpixion did not disappear. They are still part of this company and a part of the big picture. They have a technology that basically, how can I say, monitors everything. Monitors your paperwork, your products. It knows where everything is at, where everything is going. And if we read the description for this company, they tell us what this is all about, the place that Inpixion has with them. XTI Aerospace is the parent company of XTI Aircraft Company, an aviation business based near Denver, Colorado, currently developing the Trifan 600, a fixed-wing business aircraft designed to have vertical takeoff and landing capabilities like a helicopter and speeds of up to 345 miles per hour with a range of approximately 700 miles, creating an entirely new category, the vertical lift crossover airplane. Additionally, the Inpixion business unit of XTI Aerospace is a leader in real-time location technology with customers around the world who use the company's location intelligence solutions in factories and other industrial facilities to help optimize operations, increase productivity, and enhance safety. That is where their revenues are coming from, in Pixian. So Inpixion is keeping them floated while they get this new technology launched. And now they're going to get themselves up in front of everybody at a much better price. Thanks for your time, folks. I will see you again, probably tomorrow, when we talk about some more hot penny stocks. Remember, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. See ya, folks.